If you've seen any live tennis recently, you'll know that the early 90s are roaring back into style with Nike's Court-Tech Challenge line. So I figured, what better shoe to play test, serve test, suicide test, infrared test, and yes, eventually cut in half than the Nike Air Tech Challenge 2, French Open edition. I am really excited to cut these in half, so if you want to hang out with me for that video, click the subscribe button and notification bell. That way you'll be the first to see these blasts from the past go under my knife. The original Air Tech Challenge was released in 1990 for Andre Agassi. However, these models actually came out in 2014 when he re-signed with Nike. Now for you enthusiasts, of course, they actually had white laces when they came out. These came with the laser crimson laces. The construction of the Air Tech Challenge 2s is definitely not of this decade. The midsole is stiff and the upper is dense. But like most classic shoes, they still have some Easter eggs hidden in them, like the plastic ankle collar wings for more ankle stability. You've got a bunch of reinforced foxing in the uppers, and you have that original Nike Air, actually trademarked visible air. And who could forget black denim? These also have some really comfortable synthetic leather in the inner of the ankle collar and going all the way through the upper. The outsole is a very tight herringbone with a big pivot point here under your big toe joint, as well as some horizontal impressions where the midfoot meets the forefoot. That's to allow the Air Tech Challenge to bend at the big toe joint in the toe box. And it needs that because the midsole and outsole are hard as rocks. Now, even though these are the French Open editions of the Air Tech Challenge 2s, I definitely would not trust my lunch money in these on a clay court. Reason being is the outsole tread pattern is lined in continuous rubber. Good for gripping a hard court though. I actually really like the reinforcing on the lateral flange. Nice touch. Have to say, these definitely feel a little clunky. However, the hard court grip is actually pretty good. All right, so the toe box isn't breaking in anytime soon. However, the high top actually feels more comfortable than I thought it would, and it feels just as stable, if not more stable, than any other high top on the market right now. And no wonder they felt clunky. They're 19.29 ounces for a size 10.5 shoe. Now, the one thing is, the toe box and the last of the shoe does fit more foot types than some other Nikes in recent years. They will fit a narrow, medium, and wide foot. I came in at 15.11 seconds on the suicide test, which is definitely not the fastest time I've registered this year with some other shoes. However, it being a high top with pretty thick materials and a nice lateral flange, you are able to kind of throw yourself into these turns and have confidence you're not going to roll. On the serve test, I got a very respectable 27 centimeters of height. This is due to the midsole being so rigid. You get that cantilever bending and then a pretty good push-off. The infrared test told a different tale, rising 20 degrees in these shoes when on-court temperature was only 70 degrees. So can these shoes hold up to the modern game? Well, no. A couple reasons why. Number one, the upper materials are just too clunky. Number two, the outsole tread is really only good for a gritty hard court. Even some of the slicker, faster hard courts we're playing on nowadays, these wouldn't be good for. And lastly, number three, the midsole and outsole, they're just a little bit too stiff. Now, some stiffness in there is good so that the shoe stays rigid. However, with these, if you're lunging for a ball on one side of the court, the shoe's just not gonna forgive as much as, say, something like the Adidas Sole Court Boost, the GP Turbos, any of the Asics would. So one thing I will say for the midsole is, while a lot of newer foam-based midsoles will bottom out in a few months, these will stay true to form for probably years. And of course, the denim. All right, so until the next shoe, hope everyone has a great day, great night, wherever you're tuning in from, and I'll see you next time. I think that was the shoe's fault.